everybody, I'm Simmons. This is Philosophy for Where We Find Ourselves, June 20th, 2020. I often get asked, how do you write so much? Now, that may just be a critique in the sense that I'm writing too much and need to slow down. But I actually take it to be a good question because all of us in the academy try to find ways to be productive, to put in print the ideas that we think are worth hearing. And I often serve as a mentor for early career scholars through the Philosopher's Cocoon Mentor Program. And something that I talk about a lot with my mentees in those programs is how is it that we become productive scholars over the course of a career. I think that it's important to understand when it comes to writing, everyone is going to have to find sort of their own style, their own pace. It's sort of like music. You've got to learn the basics, but then there's also got to be some taste that really is just your own. That said, there are a few things that I have found very helpful, and so they're the things that I tell people when they ask how I've been so productive. Do I have any tips? Well, here's a couple ideas. Maybe they're of some use to you. If not, keep doing what you're doing, but maybe these will be some sort of inspiration for finding new ways to continue to be productive when it comes to writing. First, I think it's really important that when we are writing, we use the right unit of measure. And by that I mean, it's not simply about the article or even about the book. It should be about the authorship. Don't worry so much if the article upon which you're working just isn't perfect. Do it the best you can with the time you have and then let it go. If it turns out that somebody refutes you, if it turns out you get criticism that makes you think you should have changed your view, then change your view and write another article that then is better because you've received that feedback. It's hard to have our minds changed if we haven't put the ideas forward in public ways such that we're able to get the criticism that we need. Now that said, I am absolutely opposed to publishing before an article is ready. So all I'm suggesting is don't let the perfect be an enemy of the good. Get it out so that you can continue to see your authorship as the unit that matters, not simply this or that article. For philosophers out there, unless your name happens to be Edmund Gettier, you're not going to make your career on one article. It's about the authorship. It's about the body of work. It's about the way your thought develops over time. Number two, I write in order to figure out what I think. I don't think something through and then write it out. Now, I know this is going to be, again, different for everybody, but when I truly felt like I was sort of freed up to write in a way that sort of flowed out of me, that I felt like I was doing something constructive and not simply saying, oh, here's one more thing we could say about this or that thinker, but actually saying things about other thinkers and about life in ways that I thought mattered. The way that happened for me is I started to just be okay writing in order to think. Now, importantly, you've got to go back and do the revisions. So once you get your view out on paper and you realize, so that's what I think about that issue, now do the hard work of revisions so that you make what you've written crafted as best as possible. And then the third idea is actually really quite simple. Trust yourself. Recognize that lots of people have said lots of things, so don't try to reinvent the wheel. Simply trust yourself that if it's something you think matters, if you think it's what other people should hear, do your research, see if anyone else has said that. If not, then say it. Trust that your view and your vision in the world is actually worth hearing. That's the hardest one of the three, but it's, I think, by far the most important. I hope this is helpful for some of you. Again, writing is radically singular. It may be entirely different for you. The way you approach it may be entirely different than the way I approach it. But maybe these are some ideas upon which you can reflect and maybe figure out where it is that you come down and how it is that you can find a way to get your voice out there so the rest of us can benefit from hearing it. I'll see you tomorrow, unless a piano falls on our heads.